How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. And December 17th, 1987 was the release of the first Mega Man title. It was important because it was the first game in that franchise, one. And two, it was the first original title published by Capcom. This is a big deal. And one that kind of sparked one of the most enduring franchises in gaming history. Well, by the time the fifth game is released in the franchise, we kind of run into a little problem where Nintendo has a 16-bit console coming, right? That 16-bit console is going to be a big deal. We already know it's going to be a blockbuster. And so Nintendo laid this out, and publishers are starting to move on. Capcom has decided to do the same. And what we're left with is Capcom bowing out of publishing the sixth title in the Mega Man franchise here in the States. Well, it was already made, it was already finished. Nintendo stepped in and decided, hey, we're gonna go ahead and publish this. Don't worry about it. And so on March 15th, 1994, we get today's game. Today, we're gonna take a quick look at Mega Man 6. Alright, so Mega Man 6 features a tournament of robot champions, right? Think of it like BattleBots meets Bare Knuckle Championships. I don't know. Something like that. Meets Pokemon. Well, a dude pulls up named Dr. X and says that he's been pulling the strings and he was in charge and he was tired of standing in the shadows while Dr. Wily kept messing up, and he was gonna take over. You already know this was Dr. Wily in costume, right? In disguise? Yeah, I hope you did. Well, Dr. X threatens the world, and of course Mega Man rushes into battle. The game doesn't change anything really. It's the same as it ever was, to quote a song that a lot of people know. And yeah, it's not a bad formula. It's the standard Mega Man run and gun, side-scrolling action adventure romp that we've come to love. You got 8 robot masters. 6 were designed by Japanese gamers. 2 were designed by American gamers, and it's just a really well done piece of video game, right? And yeah, it works out perfectly. It's as good looking as all the Mega Man titles were around this time. It kind of didn't really add anything gameplay wise. We were using a lot of the same mechanics from Mega Man 4 here, and that wasn't much of a problem either. But you could see how if this wasn't just a well-made video game, we would be tired. You also have the same, rock, paper, scissors type deal where one robot master's weapon is particularly effective against others, and conversely, one is going to be extra weak against others, and so on and so forth. You run through the game, beat the 8 robot masters, and then run into what we knew all along, that Dr. X is actually Albert Wily in disguise. But let's get to the meat and potatoes though. Who were the 8 robot masters? You got this go around, you get Flame Man, Blizzard Man, Plant Man, Tomahawk Man, Yamato Man, Night Man, Centaur Man, and Wind Man. And again, different robot masters weapons beat different robot masters. For instance, you already know Flame Man's gonna be Blizzard Man, and Blizzard Man is gonna beat Plant Man, and you know, stuff like that. It just works that way. But all in all, despite it coming late in the life cycle of the NES, Mega Man 6 is a fine video game and a great send-off for the franchise on the NES. Now, let's say you decide you want a copy of Mega Man 6, right? You can get a copy of Mega Man 6. I'm gonna say a good cushion between $45 and $65. Just a good $20 window. And if you can, you know, you might look out, you might find one with a damaged label for the cheap. You can easily buy a replacement label. That ain't no problem. Getting one of these original 6 Mega Man games in your collection it's always a good idea. I'm always a fan of that. So yeah, if you get one, get one. Absolutely. And if you can't get a cartridge, the Mega Man Anniversary Collection or Mega Man Legacy Collection, different console generations had different had different collections that you could get that contain these games on. So absolutely go and pick one up, because they're good games. Ain't nobody ever had a real problem with a Mega Man game. Unless you got a phobia for robots. I don't know. That might be the only reason. But this has been the 8-Bit Animal. And I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow, you play as Dracula, and he's drinking blood. What does this have to do with the Reebok pump?